what basically is bug bounty for all the people who don't know about it. Basically, there are many websites all over the internet that are working in a certain way, right? Basically, those websites are websites that are public websites, right? And obviously those public websites are the websites that are not secure, and many websites are currently needing, because the whole world is now going pandemic, in the pandemic situation, and the whole world is going into digitalization. So when you're going more into digitalization, and many of the people are having phones, different mobile phones, different tablets, and teachers who basically used to have chalk and duster now have their Google Meet and social media accounts. Basically, that is the more this is a more crucial time to have security done for every website, right? And in current time, if you want to go ahead, right, every website on the internet currently wants to have security because of increasing digitalization, and that by because of that, all those websites are coming onto some platforms, and let's name one of the platform is hackerone.com. Right. So let's go on to hackerone.com and let's check out what is HackerOne and how it would help you if you're starting into bug bounty hunting. So basically what bug bounty hunting is, right? HackerOne.com have many of the companies listed. If you log in into it, right, you can see that there are many companies that are currently listed, and all those companies, if you go ahead there and if you just sign in, you can see all the companies, find bugs on the websites or coming from these companies, and when you report the bugs to these companies will be providing you some of the bounty or reward in return, right? So basically that is the main point of doing bug bounty hunting, and it is basically becoming more and more of a career way, right, in today's time. And if I go into directory option, you will be able to see that we would be having a lot of companies listed here, right? So you can see that we have a very new company here that is called as Instacart, right? Now this Instacart company has just launched its bounty program, and you can see basically the bounty program has been launched in February 2022. And again you can see that UPS VDP, again a company that have launched its bounty program in February. Alohi, right? All these companies are here, not only American companies, but if I go ahead, you can see that we have Pioneer, we have Redis, we have JetBlue, which is also a very big company. If I go more into it, right, you can see that we have Crisp, Wicker, right? Not only all these companies, but also we have many other good companies, Epic Games, Tinder, the companies like the companies that are basically we all know about. Then if I just go ahead, you can see that we even have these kind of companies, or companies that are basically working on porn sites, right? Because those adult websites are also needing security. They also need to have security done for their website. So you can just check out that how it is necessary to have security done for these kind of websites, right? Because everybody just needs this kind of thing, and everybody needs to have security done of these kind of websites, right? So that is the main point of having bug bounty programs, right? So these are all bug bounty programs, and if I click on any of the website, if I go into any of the website, right, and if I just check out that okay, so this is one kind of a website, right? Stripe, basically if you don't know about Stripe, after PayPal, this is one of the leading payment gateways that works multinationally or basically all over the world, right? So now Stripe, you can see that they are giving the bounties, right? If I just find a bug that is of low severity in their websites, I would get around $100 to $500 to report that bug to this particular company, right? If I find a bug that is of medium level difficulty, or medium level kind of severity, dangerous level severity, like basically that thing, right? So you will be getting a bounty of maximum $2,500, and if it's a high severity bug, you will be getting maximum to $5,000, and if it's a critical level bug, you will be getting more than $5,000 up to $25,000, right? And you can convert them in INR, and you can just check out that how these guys are currently getting these kind of bug bounties and all these kind of things, right? So basically if I just go ahead and see that what are the websites that are available for me to hack, basically they have also written that all the bugs that are listed down are ineligible vulnerabilities. So you can see if the list of ineligible vulnerabilities is so long, what would be the list of eligible vulnerabilities? So you can see that there are a lot of points around. There are 25 to 30 vulnerabilities that they are not taking, that they are not accepting, and the list of vulnerabilities that they are accepting is a lot bigger, right? If I go down, you can see these are all the scopes that they are, these are all the things that they are giving me, that yeah, I can hack into these kind of websites. So basically you can see that they are giving me the domain, that Stripe, I can go over to stripe.com/doc/API, I can hack this thing, right? So basically they are giving me everything. I could go over to you know I could basically go over to this particular thing. I could go into hack into this particular website, or I could go into and I could hack into all the subdomains, right? You can see a star here, basically that defines that all the subdomains of stripe.com, touchtechpayments.com, indiehackers.com, and this js.stripe.com. Then I'm having payable.com, right? All these things are available to hack, and if I just go into and hack these things, right, I would be getting the bug, right? Basically I would be getting the bounty for all this, and you can see that every one is here available for a bounty, right? Everything is available, eligible for the bounty, right? So that is the main point of having these kind of bugs and these kind of things, right? So let me move forward, and let me just also show you that you can see they have a huge code base. Even they have their applications, right? Their checkout.stripe.com, all these web applications, you can see that they are currently having Stripe Sigma, Stripe Atlas. So there is a whole lot of things which you could go ahead and find the bugs. So obviously that is the main thing. They are also having their Android application and iOS application to find bugs in. So the more huge the code database is, the more it is possibility to find a bug, right? And even you can check out, right? Even you can also check out basically the people who have found the bug earlier in this activity. But before going into activity, I would also like to tell you about that there are some of the basic things that you should know about bug bounty hunting, right? And the first thing that you should know about is that all the bugs that are basically informational are called as P5, right? That is priority 5. All these bugs are basically called as P5, and all these bugs that are P5 are called as informational level of security or informational level of bugs, right? So basically these are informational, and these does not give you any money. So it's basically $0, right? You don't get anything in these kind of bugs, right? Then if I go into this second, that is P4, that is low severity of bug, and you can see the payment system here. Then we see medium, which is called as P3, then high is called as P2, and critical is called as P1, right? So what is P? P is basically priority, right? So priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, and priority 5. You should never find the bugs that are P4 and P5, because P4 and P5 bugs would be giving you no money, and obviously would be decreasing your level of reputation. Why I am saying that? Because imagine there are 1000 people who are starting into bug bounty right now, right? And let's say that out of these 1000 people, 800 are newbies. So all those 800 people who would be finding bugs, right, would be going over to what? Would be going over to P4 and P5, right? And every one of this 800 people would be reporting the P4 bug or either a P5 bug, right? And only one person's bug would be accepted. All the other bugs that are similar to that bug would be reported as duplicate, and your reputation will go down if you find duplicate bugs, right? So basically don't go for reporting the bugs that are P4 or reporting the bugs that are P5, because those bugs are not at all good if you want to go it. Yeah, it's good if you are starting with it, but just if you are finding it, it's okay. Just don't report them, right? If you report them, there may be a possibility that they could decrease your performance on such websites, right? So basically what happens is that the rest 200 people that are left, you are having the competition with these guys, right? And these 200 people would be working on either P1, would be working on either P2 or P3. If you find a P3 bug, just think that how you can make this bug to P2, or how you can convert this bug into P1, right? That is the main scope, that is the main thing, that is the main research you have to do in bug bounty hunting, right? So there are lots of bugs currently. There are many newbies here, and you guys, I know that you don't know what are these P1 bugs and what are P2 bugs. How do I convert P3 to P2? How do I convert from P3 to P1? What is this bullshit, right? Obviously. So basically you need to first of all understand what are these kind of bugs, and second thing that you need to understand is basically how many types of bugs are currently there. So I'm just telling you one YouTube channel that you can start learning bug bounty with, right? And that YouTube channel is a very, very good YouTube channel. I personally watch that channel, right? So obviously go ahead and check out that particular thing, right? So The channel's name is basically Insider PhD. And if you go into Insider PhD, you will be finding she's having a lot of videos into bug bounty hunting. She started when pandemic struck for the very first time in 2020 January. So now she's having a lot of videos on YouTube on her channel regarding bug bounty hunting, right? So basically, what happens is that the very first tool that is basically used for bug bounty hunting is called as Burp Suit, right? So the tool that you need to know about is basically called as Burp Suit, and that Burp Suit tool would help you to get into bug bounty hunting and to get into all those things, right? This is one man army tool that would give you around about 80% of things you want to find in bug bounty, right? So this particular tool would be giving you 80% of the targets that you want to hack. 80%, basically 80% all the functioning, or basically all the walkthroughs, how you can go ahead and how you can find bugs, right? So only one tool is needed if you want to go ahead and start with bug bounty, right? So you just start with this, and you can see that the first video she have is the first four videos she have is basically the introduction of Burp Suit, right? You can see that Burp Suit videos are here. So the very first thing that you need to learn is about this Burp Suit for beginners, how to use the intruder tab in Burp Suit, how to use the repeater tab, and all this thing, how you can go ahead and learn Burp Suit, right? And when you learn Burp Suit, you can go ahead with API level bug hunting, right? You could also go ahead with many other bugs, right? And you can see that she's having a different kind of bugs here, right? So let me go into videos option, and you can just see that she would be having a lot of bugs here, right? So let me just show you from here, right? So basically she is having remote code execution RCE, basically a P1, right? Then CSRF, right? P1 again. Then she got a low competition bug hunting. That is basically how you can go ahead and find P1, P2 bugs without much competition, that we would be talking now in a while, right? Then she's having IDOR, one of my favorite bugs that are basically called as P1, right? Then the XSS attacks basically comes in P1 or P2, right? And then you can see cross-site scripting again, the CSRF, right, which is obviously a P1, right? Finding bugs using API P1. Okay, then you can see that she is having blind XSS, which obviously comes in P2. Then we have this, there are many other things that she is having. So basically, she is basically explaining many of the bugs that are basically here, and there are literally lot of bugs that comes into P1 and P2. And you can see that she is not explaining about all kind of P4 and P5 and P3 bugs, because those are the bugs that you could find easily, that you could learn easily using many concepts, using many of the articles on internet, right? But these P1 and P2 bugs are the main bugs that you need to learn about, right? So basically what happens is that you need to learn from these kind of things, right? And whenever you are starting from this YouTube channel, obviously you will be learning a lot, right? So basically let me move into, and let me just tell you what is the second thing that you should do. So second thing is basically to go over to pentester land. And if you're moving into pentester land, there is a website that is called as in pentester land there is this list of bug bounty write-ups. So if I just go into this bug bounty write-ups, you can see all the write-ups that are published in all the years, right? And all kind of bounties that these guys are having, and everything is listed here, right? So all the write-ups that are going on to Medium, that are listed by many other platforms, right? Every program and every particular thing, pentester land uploads a database, basically have a database of all these kind of things, right? So you can directly visit to pentester land, and you can directly go over here. Okay, now so I am going over here, and you will be like, okay, so that's a very easy step, right? You should go over and you should see that BigQuery SQL injection cheat sheet is here. Then you can see my first bounty, and the first bounty subdomain takeover, which is obviously a P2, and then he got around 10,000 INRs for that, basically $132, right? Then you can see how I made 15k dollars with RC vulnerability, right? And then you can see it here, right? So basically you can just check out, you can just click on these kind of links and check out, okay, this is kind of a vulnerability that I want to find in, right? So let me just go over to this particular thing, my first bounty. So you can see that I am into now medium.com. Medium.com is having a lot of great articles, right? And I have my particular ID that is created on this medium.com, and whenever I wake up every morning, medium.com gives me around 1 to 2 stories that I directly can click on and directly find. Okay, so this is how that person found the bug, right? So that is a very very good thing, right? Okay, then you can see that this is the full documentation that this person have given how he found that particular bug. And whenever you will be starting this, you will be seeing that all the people that are finding bugs, right, would be having something. For example, so this person found bugs on Grover.io, and you can see that this person also got a very simple bug, that is a CNAME bug, and he basically found this by enumerating the targets or basically using um, information gathering, right? So the more information gathering you does, the more you are able to find the bugs. So that is a very very good website, pentester land, right? Also there is a newsletter for all the guys who want to go ahead. And what is purpose of pentester land website, Jatin? You will be getting a lot of things, you'll be getting a lot of write-ups where you can read the people who are just going ahead and finding bugs, so that you could also know that okay, this is kind of a bug that people are finding, and this is how they are finding, so that you could copy the same technique and you could learn the same technique, right? So that is the basic thing, right? So let me just go ahead and let me just go ahead with some other type of thing. So there is one more platform called as Integrity, right? And if I move into Integrity, right, so Integrity, and this Integrity is having their own bug bounty, right, the website, like just like uh, hacker one, right? So basically you can see that this Integrity is here, and these guys are not only having a website, right, also these guys are having bug bites, right? And bug bites are kind of a thing, right, which is kind of a newsletter, newspaper kind of thing for every person here, right? And you can see that so this is kind of a newspaper version for all the bug bounty hunters. You can see for every 7 days they release a new issue, and in every issue they have different kind of things, right? For example, this issue was launched on 16th of February, which is having the data from 7th of February to 14th of February, that what was going on in cybersecurity and bug bounty world, right? And you can just check out here that article of the week is here, right? What is the article of the week? And you can just click on it and read the article. Write up of the week BigQuery SQL injection cheat sheet, that is basically a $50 plus, right? And you can check out the same thing that was here as well, right? And then we got tutorial of the week basically, and then we got tool of the week, right? There are two tools that are basically here, and non-technical item of the week, right? It is okay to use write-ups and everything, right? So basically they are having many more things, and obviously we are just going ahead, we are just using compiling all the things that are currently here into a Discord channel, so that you get all the things directly at one place. So we have all the write-ups currently, we have all the resources, right? All the tech news, tips and tricks, cheat sheets, everything. We are uploading everything on weekly basis, so that you get everything that is in bug bounty hunting, so that you don't have to go to every other place, right? So that is the point. Okay, so coming back onto this thing, right? If I want to go ahead and pursue with this bug, let's say that I found a bug. So what do I have to I have to do? I just need to go at to submit report option, and here you can see that we would be having the submit report option, right? I would generally have to type in the domain name where I find a bug. For example, I found a bug in indiehackers.com, so I would be clicking on it and I would be going down. Now I have to check on what is the type of bug that I currently found. So I could also go ahead with this category. Otherwise, I could directly just check out if my bug is listed in the search bar or not, right? So I could directly go ahead. For example, I found SQL injection. So I would just go with SQL, and you can see that this is the SQL injection bug. I would select it, go here, and go with the severity high or medium, right? You can just use it, for example, medium or high on your own, right? If there is if there is any kind of thing that needs to be changed, those guys would automatically change it, right? So that is the point. So then you have to give the title of your bug, summary of your bug, how you found it, basically how to reproduce all the that bug, supporting material if you have any kind of additional reference to that bug, how you can mitigate that bug, or if you want to write some of the impact what that bug does and how you can fix it. And you can directly upload a video file or a JPG file if you want to, if you have kind of a proof here, right? And then just go ahead and click on submit report. That is the process of it, right? Is Burp Suit professional paid? Yeah, the professional version of Burp Suit is paid and currently available on HackersVilla's Discord server, right? So you can see that I can also go into Hacktivity to check out what are the other people finding on this particular website, right? So I could go into Hacktivity and you can see that these are all the people who are finding bugs, right? And you can see that email change or personal data change account on the account, right? Basically, this is email change or personal data change on the account. So this particular cybersecurity hunter, right? This particular researcher who is here, he is able to change emails and personal data directly on the website of this particular stripe, right? And in the account, directly anybody's account, he could change data of anybody's account, and for this particular bounty he got $3,000, right? And you can see that this is a huge bounty, and if I click on it, you can just check out the whole bug, right? Basically what he reported. So this is the basic thing that he found, right? And it's written here what was the bug that he found. And obviously then all this were chats that these people were doing, which is not disclosed right now. And then he got a bounty of $3,000, right? So basically that is the point. And if I click on this person is none other than Aradhya Mittal, who was a first year computer science student when he started with HackersVilla, right? So basically he's a student of HackersVilla Cybersecurity Private Limited, and obviously uh, he was into first year. He found this bug in just 2 months of practice of bug bounty hunting, right? And obviously you can see that $3,000 results in INR 2,10,000 rupees. And obviously when he found this bug and he earned this kind of money, obviously he was on uh, you know um, basically he was very very happy, because obviously a first year person, if finding a bug, right, he would be getting a lot of motivation into that. Then he found many more other bugs as well, which were not on hacker one. He found many bugs on bug crowd, on Yes We Hack, and some other platforms, right? So that was about it, and you can just check out how many bugs we are having. Obviously I also just gave you a brief thing that, yeah, you can also move on to write-ups, and you can check up the write-up, and you can see the this write-up basically, which was listed on Integrity as well, basically that this write-up was having more than $50,000, right? So basically SQL injection, you can see that SQL injection is that particular bug that could give you more than $50,000, right, if you find it in the correct way, right? So now we started with around 150 people here, right? We are currently having 110 people. So all the people who have left this meet would be are unlucky, because they cannot now see the live version of SQL injection that we are going to do right now, right? So we will be just going on live, and you can see that this person have done this SQL injection attack on Burp Suit, which is kind of an advanced SQL injection attack, right? So you can follow the same, you can learn the same, but because you will be not able to understand, right? If you directly go and read this article, you need to have a little bit of knowledge about SQL and DBMS and HTML, right? So let's start with the very basic, and let's see that how you can go directly into SQL injection and what are these kind of bugs, right? So I guess you must have understood the very basic part, that what is SQL injection and how what is bug bounty hunting, how bug bounty hunting works, how you can get the platforms to go ahead and learn to hunt bugs, and how you can get the bounty programs directly that could give you a lot of money, right? So that is the point. Now let's move in and let's dive into live website hunting, right? Live bug hunting. So how many of you are ready for it? Just type a yes, right, if you are ready. Otherwise, if you are having any doubt until now, please do ask that doubt, and then we can go into the next topic of live website hacking. So YouTube guys or Google Meet guys, any doubt that you are currently facing or anything, or we can just start with it. Okay, so let's start with, can you please send important links that you're talking about in this live session in WhatsApp? All the links, all the things, Akshay, are basically or are on Discord server, so you can directly go there and find all those things there as well, right? want to learn this from scratch. So sort of if you want to learn this from scratch, you can directly come to our boot camps. You can directly opt for our course and you can learn, because we go into live website hunting, live bug bounty hunting, and live system hacking. So it's basically a very good community where you'll be learning a lot of things, right? Does people use bug bounty as their main income? Yes, Anshul, they are currently using bug bounty as their main income. They are starting, people are currently starting to go into this, taking this more as a profession, right? So when I personally started into bug bounty hunting, it was more kind of a, basically a kind of passion or kind of a hobby. But right now it is converting more into profession, right? So that is basically a thing. Okay. So what is bug bounty in short, Akshay? I guess I was just explaining that thing only in the just last 30 minutes, right? So let's go ahead and let's check out some of the live bugs. So basically, what is SQL injection? Before going into SQL injection, I have to tell you about what is PHP and what is other things, right? So how can I reach and join you? We'll be telling it about we'll be telling about this in the end of the session. So just stay in the session, you'll be get to know about it, right? So let's move ahead and let me just first of all tell you what is something about our PHP and HTML. How does it work? And basically, what is HQL? Basically, how does it come in contact with SQL? What are basic things, right? So let's talk about that, right? So let me just go on, right? And let's just take a very decent example, right? Let's just say that, yeah, we are having two things, right? Let's just create those two things. First of all, we are having an HTML, right? We are having this HTML here, and in this particular HTML, obviously the whole website works in HTML. This is kind of a front end of the website, right? This is basically the front end, the website, how it looks like. Basically, let me just write it here. It's basically the front end of the website, right? How the website looks like, all the JavaScript, CSS, and all the files are working here. Then we have SQL, where we have the backend and the database of this particular website, right? So basically, we would be having a backend here, and in this backend system, we will be having this SQL, right? That would be running, right? And the language, that is a backend language, and basically the language that basically connects, right, this SQL to HTML is basically called as PHP. Right, there would be a middleware language, and this language is called server language, or we could write backend here, and we could just remove backend from there, because this is more kind of a backend language, and SQL is more of not a backend, basically a database language, right? So this is how these things are basically working, right? So whenever you will be needing the sites that are very simple to look, right, the sites that are just having the data, you can just directly go ahead and check out what that data is. But for example, there is a website that is changing the data again and again. So if the website is changing the data again and again, you need to have a backend or a database that should be working here, right? For example, if a website is there and that website is configured in such a way that whenever a person signs into or logins into that particular website, the number of online person increases, right? So the database have to look how many people have currently logged in and how many people are currently online and on that particular website, so that it could just increase the online number, right? That is how Facebook and all these websites work. They have a database inbuilt how in their website, and how this database is being connected through PHP. Basically, that database works in SQL, and then it connects with HTML through PHP. So PHP is kind of a middleware language, and I am just now using different colors to define different languages. For example, this HTML, I'll be drawing it with yellow. So let's say that in this HTML we have a simple login option, right? Let's say that this website is having we have a website, this website is currently having a simple login option, and the login option is then having a login button here, right? So let me just create that. We have a login button here, right? And we have a simple login option. So let me just define this login option here. We have the username, right? And we have a password, right? So I have to enter this username and this password if I want to enter into the website, right? If I want to enter into this particular system on my dashboard, right? So that is a general thing, right? And then we have a database that I'll be drawing with this blue color, right? So basically we would be having this database here, and there would be a huge database, there would be a huge table here, and this table would be having some sort of data, right? So let's say that this website is currently having data here, and you can see this is my ID number, and then this is my username. I would be naming this column as uname, and I would be naming the column that is containing all the password as pass, right? So it would be having number one, the username for admin, right? Let's say the username for admin is stored here, and there is a password. Number two, then the again username password. Number three, again the username and password. So this is how the data is stored. It's more like a Excel file, right? And obviously let's name the table as well. Let's say the table is named as users, right? So basically we are having a table that is named as user. We are having the two columns in a table that is containing uname and that is containing pass, right? Basically two columns that are containing username and password. So what happens is whenever you just click on this login button, right, what happens is that every time whenever you click on this login button, everything just starts flowing from this particular thing. It goes directly to the PHP, and then the PHP basically it goes to PHP, and PHP runs its codes, and PHP asks from the SQL that, hey SQL, do you know that there is a thing, there is a this username or password that are entered here are in the table anyhow, right? And if they are in the table, right, the SQL replies with yes, right, I am having that particular value, so yeah, you can move forward, right? And then PHP says, okay, thank you SQL, right? It goes here, SQL give replies, and PHP would be like, okay, thank you for that. And if they are into the database, right, the HTML is then redirected to dashboard.php or something like that, basically the next page, right? It would be redirected to the next page, right? And if they are not there, it would be redirected to username wrong, right? So they basically you will get a error that username or password incorrect, right? So that is the basic thing. So this is the basic flow, and how this basic flow works, like this basic flow works in this way, right? So let me just create this flow here, right? So how this flow basically works, this flow basically works in such a way that whenever you click on login button, it basically redirects all the thing into some basically variables, right? So I'll be creating this with these variables with red color, right? So these are our variables. This pink color is having our variables. So the first variable is basically called as dollar username, right? So basically these are variables that I am currently using. Basically these variables would be used in one of our command now, right? So this is our password, right? So now these are the variables that are being used, right? And all the options that you can see, that all the options here, for example, this particular username would be going here, right? This particular username, when clicked on login, when pressed login, this username will go to this username option, right? This username variable, and the thing that you're giving into password will go directly into PHP's username, that is PHP's variable that is called as password, right? Now what happens is that now this PHP is having the username and password that was entered by the user, right? And then it asks for SQL that if they are entering the correct data or not, right? If this data is in this table or not, right? And how do it ask? For that I would be writing a query here, right? And that query, for that writing the query, I would be removing this particular thing, right? So let me just write this query here. So let me just make this more short, right? So the query would be something like, let me make it this, right? So what that query would be, I would be writing the query in this pink color only, right? Because it's a PHP query, right? So basically that query would be something like this. Okay, so let me write the query from here. So it's basically a query that is select all from the table called as users, right? So here we need to have this users option, right? So basically select all from users, right? Where obviously now we need to specify basically from where we want it, right? Where uname, right? This particular uname that is coming from the table, right, should be having this particular uname, should be having, you know what, should be having basically this admin or basically this particular thing that is going into this username option, right? So this should be equal to, right? So let me again type in here, this should be equal to dollar username, right? So dollar username, and right, then we would be having two, and then we would be having pass equal to, right, because we also need this password, right? So this would be having a pass equal to, right, and then not this equal to, then we would be having again this PHP here, right, and this PHP would be equal to dollar password, right? So this would be the whole command that would be going inside it, right? And you can just check out that, okay, this is how this command looks like. This is the very simple version of the command that goes in realistic way. And you can check out, okay, this is the way this particular thing looks like. Let me zoom it in here, right? So you can check out, you know, good manner, right? So basically you can just check out that this is the particular command that goes, right? So select all from users, right? Select all from users, select everything from this particular table of users, right? Where the username, right, where the username uname in the particular this table, right, in this particular uname, the thing that I want to search for is this particular username that is coming from my HTML, right? So basically this username, and then in the password section, I have password column, I want to compare this particular password that is coming from my HTML, right? So that is a particular thing. So that is how this particular thing is working, right? I guess you are understanding now. This username is going over here and this password is going over to here, so that I could know that what is happening in this particular website. So this is the basic flow of SQL, how the SQL is working, right? And if the username and password exist in the table, we get a true value, and if we get a true value, obviously we are into we are basically logged in into the system. So understood the basic flow? Yes or no? If you have understood the basic flow, right, then we could move further. Yes or no? So I can see somebody promoting some link in the chat box. Please don't do so, otherwise we have to remove you from the meet, right? So let's move forward and let's check out what SQL injection is. Now you know that what is SQL. Now let's go into and check out what SQL injection is, right? So let me just go over here. Let me just go over to a website, right? So let's go over to, there is one of a website, right, that I have currently, and this website is this website, right? This website is currently this techno traders website directly coming from Pakistan server. Obviously I am not taking a website that is running live on any other country, because currently I'm not connected to my VPN, right? Because I have to take the session and it hinders with the speed of the session, right? So obviously I'm not using a VPN currently, but yeah, you can go over to and hack all these websites using a VPN. But obviously, if you're not having a VPN, you can try practicing on Pakistan's website, because these websites are not having a proper relationship with India, right? Because there is no proper relationship in Indian and Pakistan government, so they won't be coming and catching me, right? So that is the point here. So let me go into this admin login option, and if I just go into this admin login option, you can see that this website works on PHP, right? And you can check out how do I found that this website works on PHP. I have this plugin that is called as Vapalizer, right? And this particular plugin tells me that, okay, this is running on Apache and running on PHP as a server, right? So when it is running on PHP as a server, right, PHP can only and only works with SQL. And whenever you see that this website is running on PHP, you can do SQL injection there very easily, right? All you just need to do is basically type a simple injection payload, and that payload will get you into the website, right? So let's see here. For example, here if I type some of the random data and clicking on login, it would say that wrong username and password, right? So what I need to basically do is type in this particular thing, right? So if I'm typing this particular string, pasting it here as well, clicking on login, right, and I'm inside admin panel. This is also possible on Delhi University's website, some of the big colleges website, for example, Graphics Era University and many other universities that are having this kind of SQL injection bug, right? How this bug is working, I'll be just showing you with the logic as well, right? I already explained you how that SQL thing is working, but you'll be going into the logic and you'll be like, okay, that's how these things are working, right? So not only this website, let me also show you one of the other website, right? That is also a website based in Pakistan, right? Let me go here. And so this is a website basically which is a stock exchange website in Pakistan currently running live. And if I just go ahead, they also have this client login option. So if I go into this client login option, right, which is here, right, I am having this client login option here. So I can just directly go here and I can directly just click on administrator, uh, type the same thing here, right, and just paste the same thing in my password option and just click on sign in, and again I'm logged in, right? So you can see that is how easy it is to log in. Do you guys want to know the logic behind how this is working? You guys want to know the logic behind how this thing is currently working and how you can basically use it on your particular things, right? So let's go ahead and let's learn the logic behind it, right? Because we don't have to be script kiddie. You have to become a good hacker. You need to know the logic behind everything, right? So see, let's come back to our mainstream here. So this was the mainstream, right? And you can see that. Let me remove the arrows, right? What is the, yeah? I'll be just showing you. Okay, so let me just remove all these arrows here and let me have some space for the thing that I'm currently going to do, right? So let me make it bigger. Yeah. So now let's say that we are having this particular thing, and this was the basic string that we were having, right? And what I typed basically, I'll be typing that in green, right? So I typed this apostrophe space or, right, space apostrophe 1 apostrophe close equal to apostrophe 1. This was the thing that I just wrote, right? And this was the same thing that I pasted in username, and this was the same thing that I pasted in password, right? So how did it hacked into the system, right? So for that I have to show you that if I'm doing same, if I'm pasting same thing in username and password, the same thing goes into this username and this password, and same thing goes into this username and this password, right? And when it goes here, you can see that it checks into SQL that if this username and this password is here. So let me just go ahead and give you the introduction that how this is happening, right? When basically the username and password was the same, right? Basically it was the same string, right? So let me go ahead and let me just remove this and remove this, right? So what was happening here, right? What was happening here, it was that, right, we had one equal to here, we had this here, and we had this here, then we had two ands in between, right? And then we had the sand is not looking good, let me just make a new and, right? Then we had password equal to here, and we had the same thing here, and then we had this colon, right? And see, I am typing it in green, and you can see if I'm just using the same thing here as well and same thing here as well, you can see what would happen, right? So first of all, we are having this apostrophe, right? Then we are having or, then we are having 1 equal to apostrophe 1, right? So that is the point. And same thing here, right? Same thing here that I'm currently having. Basically, let me just make it more presentable. So we had 1 equal to 1, right? And then we had the same thing here, that was or 1 equal to apostrophe 1, right? This was the point that I was having, and now you can see what is happening here, right? You can just check out what is happening, right? So do you have to give a space between the alphabet? Yeah, you can give the space after the alphabets and between basically the alphabets and the apostrophe, right? It would become more clear, right? So basically this or has to be separated with spaces so that SQL could understand that you're giving an or statement here, right? So basically if I just make it bigger, let me just make it bigger so that I could understand you better, I could make you understand better, right? So now you can see that we are having this particular condition, and using this particular condition you can just check out that what is the thing that I am currently having here. Let me just remove this as well, this line as well, and this as well, right? So basically you can see what is happening here, right? What is the thing that is currently happening here? The thing that is happening here is this, that this particular thing has closed automatically, right? And you can see if this is closing, I'm just making it close using by giving apostrophe, the closing apostrophe by myself, right? So it will search for a username that is not here. It will search for an empty username in the table, which would result in a false value. So I'm writing a false value here, so it would result in a false value. And I'm having this or option, right? So I'm having this or option here, and I'm having 1 equal to apostrophe 1 that is open, and it closes it automatically. You can just check out that it closes your apostrophe automatically. And 1 equal to 1, it is comparing that if 1 is equal to 1, and obviously 1 is always equal to 1 because it is a universal truth, right? So it would give me a true value. Then I'm getting this and, right? You can check out that I'm getting this and here, and this and would give me the and here, right? So I'm getting this and value here, right? So then what I'm doing here, right? Then what I'm having here, I'm having this password, which is basically an empty password again. So this is kind of an empty password, which would be giving me a false value because there is no empty password in my SQL table. And then I'm getting this or, right? And then I'm getting this 1 equal to 1 again, which is comparing if 1 is equal to 1. That is basically what is this? What is this? That is basically a very simple and a very universal truth that we know that it is true equal to it is 1 equal to 1, right? Obviously 1 is always equal to 1, so we will be getting a true value. And now you can check out here, the whole situation becomes false or true bracket and false or true, right? And when it is solved in computer science, it gives me the answer a true value, right? Ultimately it gives me a true value. You can understand that a false or true will give me a true, and again a false or true will give me a true, and true makes a true, right? So when I'm getting this true value, I am getting into the dashboard, or I am getting into the file of that particular thing, right? I'm getting into that particular dashboard of the admin. So that is the basic flow, or that is the basic exploit of this SQL, right? You have to inject something, right? You could do 2 equal to 2, you can do b equal to b, c equal to c, anything, right? Basically it could be it have to be a true value after the or, right? So that is the basic thing. And you can see this is the pure logic, right? How many of you understood this particular logic? Right? I guess it's a pure logic that most of you guys must have understood. Yeah, you can put anything, right? Because this basically searches for anything, and this have to result in false, so you can put anything, but this apostrophe should be there so that you could close that particular thing. So you can see this is how SQL injection works. Basically, the very basic SQL injection that works in this particular thing, right? We could have more advanced SQL injections if we want to, but this is the very basic one, and this is how many of the websites gets hacked, right? And you need to understand more of this thing, right? What was the Pakistan site? It was basically you can just Google PK login ASP, right? I'm writing it in the chat box. You can just type this particular thing, right? And you will be getting all the Pakistan websites that would be having that would be basically having the login, and you can practice on that, because this would give you a simple thing. If you Google PK login ASP, it would give you all the login websites of Pakistan that are working on ASP or PHP. Basically ASP and PHP are one and the same. So that is the thing. Okay, so this is how SQL injection works. And there are more advanced SQL injection than that, right? Currently the SQL injections that we are currently into, that we are currently finding for $50,000, those SQL injections are very those SQL injections are very good to find. Obviously those SQL injections are rare because you have to use more and more precision, and you have to go more and more into SQL. The more as SQL you will be learning, in bug bounty hunting, when you are moving into bug bounty hunting, the more web development languages you are knowing, the more it is better to find the bugs, right? And yeah, if you want to start into cybersecurity for the very first time, you can start without knowing any kind of basics or any kind of programming language or something like that. You can directly dive into networking, jump into Linux, and then go ahead into bug bounty thing. But when you're starting with bug bounty, you need to also start learning some of the program web development languages that would help you a lot in finding bugs, right? So this was about SQL injection. We also have NoSQL injections. We also have MongoDB injections, Express injections, Node.js injections, and there are operating system OS injections. There are XSS injections. There are various injections. Command injections are also there. So there are various injections that are available currently on the websites, right? And obviously you need to learn more and more web development if you want to go ahead and learn the exploitation part, right? So sir, is this one of the bugs on that Pakistan website? Yeah, this is kind of a bug, and this simple bug could give you around $3,000 to $4,000 if you find it on a website that is running a bug bounty program, right? So that is the main point of it, right? So let's move forward, and let's also check out, there is also one website that I currently have, but it basically kind of a thing, kind of a website that is not having obviously a bounty program. I hacked into it, but obviously these people are not doing anything, so I have this website for display purposes. So this website is Ubrain TV, right? Will you be telling about web development? Yeah, for web development, basically, what I did, that I started practicing, I started creating some of the projects, right? I am into the development of HackersVilla as a website as well. So obviously, when you're doing some of the projects into web development, you'll be more heading into the bounty part, right? So, so please send the link of the website you have hacked. So the link is here. Let me go ahead and go into here. Right. So this is the thing. Let me just copy paste here so that you can also just check out this. Okay. So let me go ahead, and you can see this is the website that is coming from Rome, right? And this is the TV channel in Rome currently. So okay, and you can see that all of the data is the data is basically dynamic, right? You can check out because the URL is currently having PHP ID equal to 6, sorry, PHP, and the ID is equal to 6. And if I just change the ID, you can see that currently the channel is Club of Rome channel. And if I just change the ID of this particular website, right, let me go ahead and change the ID to 4, right? You can see the upper part, the header and the footer of the website remains the same, right? The major header, the footer of the website, and the header of the website remains the same, but the channel name and all the photos here, all the description here, and all these things are changing. The logo is changing and everything is changing, right? So obviously the backend must be working here. If I go back to 6, you can see that everything is changing here, but the main header and footer remains the same, right? So as I know that this is a website that is running PHP and obviously must be running SQL as well. And most of the current websites that are working on WordPress are also working on PHP. So you can also, there is a lot of scope currently in SQL injection, right? So if I just go ahead and type a simple apostrophe here, you can see that I am currently getting an error, right? And what this error is, basically, the error is just a simple error that is basically telling me that I'm using a wrong syntax, right? So you can see the error is basically this, right? You can just check out this particular error. If I, let me just make it big, right? So yeah, let me make it here, and you can see, so basically this is the particular error that you are seeing, right? So this is the error that you are currently seeing, and the error is basically this, that I am using double apostrophe here and triple apostrophe at the end. So basically this website must be having a kind of thing. For example, this website must be having a kind of syntax like select all from the page, where ID must be equal to, this ID parameter must be equal to double apostrophe dollar ID, right? So what we are doing is basically we are providing it with this ID must be equal to 6. So if you provide a apostrophe here, you can see the error would be persisting, and obviously this error would be something that I'm currently getting, right? So for that I have to just use some of the comments, right? So this is the basic thing of having SQL injections and basic things of having such kind of things, right? So basically if I go ahead and if I just make it small, right, let me just make it of the correct size, and if I just go ahead and remove use some of the comments here to remove the error, you can see my website loads successfully, right? And if my website is loading successfully after the error and a comment, that means the website is vulnerable to SQL injection. Now I can use I can find number of columns, number of rows, number of things, the columns names, the rows name, everything from this particular website's database, and I can get even the ID password. For example, I can just go ahead with union select. There is a command that, obviously, to explain this command I need to give you more introduction to SQL. That would take around 1 to 2 hours. So we do this into our bootcamps, not into the free sessions, right? So basically if I go ahead with union select, and there is one particular thing, one particular command that is here at you can also see this command. I'm not hiding this command, right? Basically union select 1 2, then I'm concatenating all the table names, and I'm taking out all the data from information schema, right? Where table name should be equal to our database, right? You can pause the video and check out this particular command, right, if you want to, right? So you can see that we are having this particular thing, and we are having all kind of tables that are currently in this website. We are getting the list of all the tables, right? So basically there is a table called as authorized users, so I can also move into authorized users, what kind of content authorized users is having. So I can just directly remove this particular link, and I can use column name to get from this authorized user. So you can see that I am getting 4 columns that are in authorized user table, and now I can use this particular information to get all the data of these columns directly from the URL, right? I can remove this information schema now, right? And let me remove this as well, and press enter, and you can see I'm getting the data as well. So you can see number one is the ID, because first of all it's ID, then it's username. So I'm getting the username as admin here. Then there is this password option, so I'm getting this encrypted password here, right? This is basically encrypted in MD5. Why I know this? Because I am experienced, right? Then I'm getting this email here, so obviously I'm getting this email. Also what I can do is I can just copy this particular password, right? And let me just copy this password, and I can also decrypt it using many of the online decryption tools that are available, right? So copy it, and let me move into MD5 decryption, right? MD5 decrypt, and there are many decryptions available online, decryptors available online, and I can just directly click on any of the things, right? For example, this link, and would paste it here, click on decrypt, and I'm getting the password here, season@123. So now I can directly log in into this admin's website and obviously directly get the thing, right? So these are all the things, and these are all kind of SQL injections, right? So this was kind of a union based SQL injection that could give you the data directly on the website. Then we have blind SQL injections, time based SQL injections, conditional SQL injections, error based SQL injections. There are many types of SQL injections, right? So that is the main thing. Can you get the free login for paid websites? Yeah, you can also get that if the website is working on SQL and you get a SQL injection there. So that is how SQL injection basically works, right? So these are certain things, right? So how many of you currently think that yeah, you have learned something new today, right? Or any of the doubt you guys are currently having, please do ask in that thing, right? Can you paste the command in the chat box? um So for pasting the command, let me just go ahead and do that on Discord, right? So yeah, what I'll be doing, I'll be currently going into Discord, and in the let's go in this section, right? In the basic discussion section or the general section here, I would be pasting the basic commands. I would be pasting all the commands that I use there so that you could follow along, right? Let me do it right now. I have this here in the discussion panel. So basically, this is the second server of our HackersVilla, which is accessible only to the people who are into the community, right, and learning some courses as well. So let me just paste the steps here, so you can also just go ahead with this, right? So I'm pasting it in general, so you can just directly go ahead and check out. Okay, these are the things that that just happened. So I would be removing all these things in a while, right? I would be deleting this message in just 12 hours. So till then you can just take the screenshot or something like that. So this were the basic steps to go ahead with union based SQL injection, right? But to understand it, you need to have a proper knowledge of SQL injection, right? So that is the point. Okay, so how many of you learned something new here today? For the people who have learned something new today, right? Please do tell yeah that I learned something new, because that would mean a lot for us, that yeah, we have added some value into your life, right? So very new things. Me, can you resend the Discord link? Discord link is basically it's hackersvilla.xyz/discord. What if it will it work if table name and different name are different? Then you, yeah, obviously it would work. You have to basically go ahead and check out what are the table names. So it won't work at if you don't have the correct table name, right? So you have to dig in and find some research some of the information about it, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so way more helpful than so-called cybersecurity classes. Thank you, Julian. uh, Okay, so it's amazing. Okay, yes, sir, I learned. Thank you, guys. So let's go ahead and let's talk about let's talk about the boot camp, right? So all of you guys who are not super interested in the boot camp, and all of you guys who are not serious about cybersecurity branch can currently leave the meet, right? The next session for this particular webinar is for all those people who are very serious about cybersecurity field, right? So if you are not serious about cybersecurity currently, please do leave the meet right now, because the next part, I'm repeating it again, the next part is only for the people who are very much interested into cybersecurity field, right? So can I see some of the people who are serious about this field, who think that yeah, I'm going to be a very good person, I'm going to land into this particular cybersecurity profession one day, right? All the people, if you are here, right, please do type in yes, and don't type me if you don't have that much passion or that much capability that to not to invest on it, right? If you want to go ahead and if you want to learn something new into this particular field, obviously how much you can invest in yourself, that is the best, that is the first thing that you need to see, right? Obviously if you don't have that particular capability to invest on this particular skill, then that means that obviously you're not dreaming about it in the way that you are thinking, right? So let me just go ahead and let me just show you a poster for this month boot camp, right? So this is the poster for this month's boot camp, and you can clearly see that this month we are going to start the boot camp on 24th of February, right? And we would be ending the boot camp on 28th of February. It's a 5-day event where we'll be getting the sessions from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day, elite contents, new contents, and we are starting with 24th February website hacking, where we would be going much more into bug bounty hunting, right? I haven't told you yet how you can start bug bounty hunting and start getting private programs and start getting bounties from the very first program you are finding bugs into, right? That is a part that obviously many of the people hide, but I really want to tell you guys about that. So for that we have to cover much more into bug bounty. So for that we cover that into our sessions in our boot camp, because we get more time there, right? So obviously for that, right? So do come into the bootcamp if you want to go ahead and check out what bug bounties. I would be telling you my experiences, right? That would help you a lot, and I would be also giving you some of the insights about bug bounty hunting. I would be telling you about the last bug that I found on PVR's website. I could bypass the OTP, right? I would be using Burp Suit for that, so I would be explaining you about that as well. So website hacking session would be a lot more fun than you think. So that is the point. 25th of February, we'll be going into steganography, which is basically a session how you can embed your payloads directly into your MP3 files, MKV files, or hide your data in a JPG file, or basically how you can go ahead and directly go ahead and give a basic file, give the viruses into embed the viruses into just a PDF file, and if you upload that PDF file somewhere, if it's on Windows, the person directly gets hacked opening just the PDF file, right? So we would be learning the art of steganography, data hiding, and how this thing works under the hood. We would be going under the hood. We would not be just using the skills, right? You would be just going and learning the deep thing, what is inside it, how it's working. Live CTF on 26th of February, right, where we would be going ahead into the session. It would be basically that the continuation system session of system hacking, right? So all of you guys can go on to YouTube, watch the video, watch the session of Friday that we had on 18th of February, and then this 26th February wala session would be the continuation of that free session, right? So basically how you can hack into Windows and create a persistence connection directly. So that is the basic thing, right? 27th February, we would be talking about ARP spoofing, the most dangerous and the most what I could say worst attack in social media engineering, where you change the websites of the host, right? If you hack using ARP spoofing attack, the person won't be knowing that you have changed their DNS records, and obviously if the person types in facebook.com in their browser, he would be redirected to the facebook.com that you created. And this comes also under Wi-Fi hacking. So obviously we would be covering Wi-Fi hacking as well on 27th February. 27th February we'll be also talking about Tor and anonymity, right? We would be talking about dark web. We would be talking about how you can set up Tails or Hunix or all these kind of things and visit dark web applications. We would be visiting many of the dark web websites, all those onion links that you think are taboo or that you think are not accessible, right? Then 28th of February, we will be talking about Web3 security, the place where everything starts from in today's time. We would be talking about blockchain security, cryptocurrency security. We would be talking about cryptocurrency, investigation. We would be talking about the MetaMask, and obviously the IoT things, how you can hack IoT using Shodan, and how you can hack IoT databases, right? The schedule is 24th to 28th of February 2022, every day 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and you will be getting all the recordings for previous sessions as well. This bootcamp started from September 2021, and it will be going over to August 2022. It's a 12-month series for the people who want to go for the web course but are not having enough money to go for the course, right? So once you pay for this particular boot camp, right, you will be getting a lot more than this particular thing. You'll be getting a lot more than boot camp. You'll be getting all the recordings of last boot camp plus this boot camp. And if you want to register for the next boot camp, you'll be getting a discount for that, right? You'll be getting the discount on advanced course. You'll be getting a more discount, right? More than 50% discount on the advanced ethical hacking course that is currently listed on the website. So that course would be for around 14 that course is around 20,000, and here you'll be getting it on 8 to 10,000, right? So that is basic thing, and there are many things that you'll be learning, we'll be learning together, right? So all the months we have different sessions, we have different topics, and this month we are going to have these topics that are on your screen, right? We would be sharing the same poster in the group as well. So how many of you are interested to register for this boot camp? Can I see some of the hands? Can I see some of the people who are willing to register for the boot camp? Okay, I guess a lot of people are interested, right? So we have just given the links of the bootcamp directly, and if you guys are interested, you can directly go ahead and fill the form here, hackersvilla.xyz/bootcamp. Although we are also having an option to get the seat for free, right? And for that, I'm just calling Aditi over here, right? She'll be telling you how you can get this seat for free and some other aspects of this bootcamp. So stay in the webinar for more, just 5 to 10 minutes more, and then we would be ending the session, right? So over to you, Aditi.
Okay, so initially, and for 12 months he will be a good person into the cyber security, if if the person practices what we says in the boot camp regularly, right? So boot camp में आप लोगों को guidance भी दी जाएगी from our mentor, and obviously that guidance is gonna help you reach to the level where the mentor is, है ना? सो आप लोगों के लिए वो बहुत ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल होगा. एंड 12 मंथ का हमारा एक यही मोटिव था कि वन मोर मोटिव वाज देयर कि इफ you are not able to differentiate between whether you are fascinated into the field of ethical hacking and cyber security, or you are interested, right? Most of the like people, I saw people here saying yes, I want I am dreaming that I will be hacker one day, ethical hacker. I will be cybersecurity trainer or expert one day, right? But maybe there is some sort of fascination only, or maybe there is interest, right? Yeah, both the things can be there, right? So maybe you are interested. If the interest is there, then obviously you will be. But when the webinar was started, right, there was a question, और मे बी मतलब आप लोग सोच के आए होंगे खुद से भी कि मैं सिर्फ एक्सप्लोर करने आ रहा हूँ इस फील्ड को कि ये कैसी फील्ड है ना? मतलब बहुत सुना है इसके बारे में, वर्ड भी फैसिनेटिंग सा है, हैकिंग कैसे होती है ये. तो मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल हियर मे बी फॉर द एक्सप्लोरेशन पार्ट, एंड कुछ ऐसे भी होंगे जिनको इंटरेस्ट था, right? So once you become the part of the bootcamp for the 5 continuous days, you will be having topics that are super important and super trending into the field of cybersecurity. So obviously you will be able to differentiate for yourself that whether you are interested into the same field or are just fascinated by the same field, right? And that will help you in taking up your career in the right direction also, right? Moving forward to the main part, how you can get this seat for free. I know you are super excited for the same to know कि इतने सारे लोग ने बोला कि हाँ मैं interested हूँ boot camp में, but what if you can get your seat for free, right? So moving forward to that part, it is as simple as creating 2 referrals for the same. So since you are a person who is interested into the field of ethical hacking and cybersecurity, you must be or you may be having few friends who are also interested into the same field, right? So if 2 of your friends pay 499 for this bootcamp, since they are interested, then you will get your seat for free. I hope I'm clear. I repeat, अगर आपके 2 फ्रेंड्स 499 रुपीज पे करके खुद को बूट कैंप के लिए रजिस्टर कर लेते हैं, देन आपको आपकी सीट फ्री मिल जाती है, राइट? सो इट इज एज सिंपल एज कि अगर हम जनरली देखें तो आपको 1500 की 3 सीट्स मिलती, बिकॉज 500 की एक सीट है, बट अभी आपको 1000 में 3 सीट्स मिल जाएगी. एम आई क्लियर एट दिस पॉइंट? जस्ट टाइप अ yes in the chat box if I'm clear. Everyone, yeah. जतिन आपको क्लियर नहीं है? I repeat, if 2 of your friends pay 499, okay, they will pay the amount. 2 of your friends will pay the amount for the bootcamp out of their interest, then you will get your seat for free. Cool for everyone. Alongside, you will be getting e-certification, recorded sessions for 60 days, previous recorded sessions as well, and this like the recordings of this bootcamp as well, discounts on the course as already told by the mentor, and paid tools that we'll be using with you people while teaching you, you know, the website hacking or other things like steganography and other. So whatever the tools will be used, you will be getting the premium version of those tools for free by us. Okay. So yeah, so for those, like we had a lot of queries this time, like most of the people are having exams also in February. I mean the maybe the BTech people of private colleges or something, right? So you guys can simply do a thing कि आप लोग amount pay कर सकते हो, and you, since you will be getting like I mean 500 में आपको पिछले 3-4 महीने की रिकॉर्डिंग्स मिल रही है, उससे I mean वही इतना वर्थ हो गया है ना? इतनी I mean that is also worth it for the same. And you can what else we can do is, once you see the recordings after your exam, we can aid you as a mentor, right? We can you can just ask doubts from us, from the mentors, and we can just answer your queries alongside, right? Yeah. And since you will be registering, so even we are telling, like as we already told कि discount मिलेगा आपको course पे. So since you are registering, so after watching the recordings also, you will be getting the discount on the course if you are super interested for the field of ethical hacking and cybersecurity. So if anyone is having any other doubt, just type in the chat box, or we can wrap up the session. And even if you're not having doubts, just type N or no in the chat box. Anything you would like to add up, Sanjay? Okay, just one more thing I left with, that seats are really less. I know approximately, let me be precise, okay? Okay. Okay, 14 to 15 people said they are interested for the boot camp. Okay, so to be very honest, yesterday only we got the seats filled, and we have increased the seats by 5. So out of 15 people, only 5 people will be getting the seats. So do try. I'm pretty sure about that कि आप लोगों की जो seats है वो fill हो जाएगी. I mean लगभग 10-12 बजे तक. तो जिसको भी करनी है ना, वो एक बार जरूर, अगर वो 10 बजे के बाद पेमेंट कर रहा है, just no, for the 60 days. Professor, the recordings will be there on your registered email ID for 60 days, okay? So, जो भी 10 बजे के बाद पेमेंट कर रहा है, वो एक बार मेरे से पूछ लेना. Admins say they are also the members of the core team of HackersVilla. You can just message the admins कि whether the seat is available or not. So payment करने से पहले, because we can understand कि maybe your parents will do the payment and they'll come after 9 or 9:30 and then the payment will be processed, right? So you can just ask the core members of our team once कि whether the seat is available or not, because again 5 seats only. Cool. So okay, next bootcamp obviously will be in March, as we already said ki it's a 12-month series, right? So every month the bootcamp is there, and once in 6 months there is also a mega bootcamp that is for 10 days. So that will be in maybe in June or July this time. And last mega bootcamp we did in December. So in mega bootcamp we offer you goodies from our side like t-shirts, notebooks, and the laptop stickers like merchandise and all. So also, and the like the certification, the physical certification we give you. So pura at your doorstep. Okay, so bootcamps are real fun because you get to have the feeling of community as well. So yeah, since no one is having any other doubt, so lastly, anything if you would like to add up, Sanchay?
So I just want to say that something on the price of a medium-sized pizza is something that you should surely go ahead with, right? And if you think that your friends would be going ahead and your friends would not be registering today or tomorrow, what you can do is basically you can register yourself today, and then you can try for your friends. And if your friends join tomorrow, yeah, right, if you are able to join your 2 friends tomorrow in the boot camp, right, we'll refund your money, right? We'll refund then your money, right? So that is all, that could also be an option for you if you want to go ahead with. And then again, something at a price of 499 is, I guess, worth it, because इतने में आजकल कुछ मिलता नहीं है, right? Then you're getting a lots of things, lots of live sessions, lots of recorded sessions, everything, right? So obviously it's a worth it thing, right? So in case, I guess, when I started into cybersecurity, I have to start it from the very basic on my own. And you guys are very lucky that you're getting a good guidance, you're getting it at a good price, and you're getting it at a good level, right? So obviously you guys are very, very lucky. So please use the 5 seats very conveniently, very efficiently, so that we really need quality people. We don't need the people who are not, who are just registering for bootcamp and then are not coming into the sessions of the bootcamp, right? So that would hurt me as well, that would disappoint me as well, and you as well. So we need quality people. And if you think you are into one of those, right, do fill your form. And now let's end the session, right? So we would be having one more session tomorrow and the last free session day after tomorrow. So if you want to make your friends join the free sessions, first of all, you have the time for 2 days, right? And that is all that I wanted to say. So thank you guys. Topic for tomorrow would be based on social media hacking, right? It would be based on social media hacking. So we would be calling in all our groups, we would be updating in all of our groups that many of the people are interested in social media hacking. So we would be having the session for tomorrow is basically the social media, the homoglyph attack part, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so let's end the session for today. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, tomorrow and day after tomorrow's topic is free. Then we would start with the bootcamp and end the free sessions, right? So that is the thing. Okay. So thank you guys for joining, and let's end with the session, right? If you want to rewatch it, you can rewatch it on YouTube. It's probably recorded, and will be it's going live on YouTube, so you can watch it there if you want to watch it again. Okay, so thank you guys, and uh, thank you for being the part of this free webinar. Okay, let's end the session now.